Hello again everybody, Jeremy Latham here, I'm the hip surgeon. I haven't posted a video for a while, but there's lots going on in the background. The main bit of news I've got is that we're about to get a surgical robot installed at the Wessex Nuffield Hospital. This is the Mako robot made by Stryker. I use Stryker products already and have done for years. They make the extra hip replacement, which is one of the most successful hip replacement designs of all time. We're moving from an era where we know which implants work for most patients to using technology to help us put the implants in the correct position for that patient. The Mako robot planning technique utilises a CT scan which the patient has before surgery. We then look at that plan in great detail and put the coordinates of the socket into the Mako robot. You'll see it all in a video during this presentation. I hope you enjoy it. If you're interested in having Mako robotic surgery, please get in touch through my secretary Anne or send me an email. And if you like the channel, please do subscribe. As always, the details will follow at the end of the presentation. Thanks again for watching. In the last 30 years, we've seen an explosion of new technologies such as the internet, mobile phones, satellite navigation. All of these things have paved the way for developments in things like robotics and artificial intelligence, which will transform the way we live our lives and communicate with one another. In this presentation, I'm going to talk about the use of a robot to help improve the outcome of hip replacement surgery. These days, robots are used in all sorts of industries, particularly car manufacturing and food processing. Robots in popular culture are often portrayed as malign influences. For example, who can forget the cowboy in Westworld and the Terminator? We are understandably, instinctively mistrustful of technology which we think might control our lives.
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
The nightmare of artificial intelligence gone wrong in Stanley Kubrick's 2001: A Space Odyssey is terrifying. But robotic technology comes to the rescue in Aliens when Ripley uses the power loader to fight the alien. Back in the real world, of course, the use of robots is a bit more mundane, but the technology is equally exciting. This is one of the latest Ocado packing plants where robots are used to fulfill grocery orders. This plant is quite near to where I live and work. Unfortunately, it burnt down in February due to a fire, but Ocado are rebuilding and they have some pretty amazing technology. This Mercedes S-Class production line is a perfect example of humans and robots working together to improve efficiency. Here's another example of technology in the automotive industry being used to help road safety. This Porsche Cayenne uses adaptive cruise control to maintain a safe distance between it and the car in front. It will even bring the car to a complete halt if necessary. In this final part of the presentation, I'm going to talk about the use of the Mako surgical robot to help deliver better outcomes in hip replacement surgery.
For more than 100 years, joint replacement surgery has been used to treat patients with chronic hip pain. Meet Mako, a robotic arm-assisted technology used by surgeons to perform total hip replacements. This unique technology helps surgeons provide a personalized surgical experience where each surgical plan is based on a patient-specific diagnosis and anatomy. Here's how it works. It begins with a CAT scan or CT scan of the hip joint. A CT scan is a series of X-rays taken at different angles that can help surgeons see things that they can't typically see with an X-ray alone. The CT scan data is used to generate a 3D virtual model of the patient's unique anatomy. This virtual model is loaded into the Mako system software and is used to create a personalized preoperative plan. Prior to surgery, the surgeon reviews the plan size and placement of the implant. If necessary, the surgeon modifies the preoperative plan to help control important measures of hip stability. During surgery, the surgeon locates points on the hip in order to register the anatomy in the Mako system. This process establishes the relationship between the patient's actual anatomy in the operating room and the 3D model that was used during the planning process. This step helps ensure the procedure is executed to plan. Once the anatomy is registered to the 3D model, the surgeon has the flexibility to modify the preoperative plan based on their assessment of the patient's anatomy. Then, the surgeon guides the robotic arm to remove the arthritic bone and cartilage from the hip. A virtual boundary provides tactile resistance to prevent the surgeon from removing more than just the arthritic bone identified in the preoperative plan. And visual cues, shown in green, appear on screen to show how much bone to remove. Mako assists the surgeon in performing controlled and accurate preparation of the hip socket. As the surgeon prepares to place the implant into its final position, the robotic arm guides the cup at the desired angle defined in the surgical plan. With the diseased bone gone, a total hip implant is inserted in the joint space. And that's how Mako Total Hip is transforming joint replacement.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that presentation about the Mako robot. I think we're at the beginning of a very important evolutionary cycle in technology in healthcare. Use of big data, virtual reality, robotic care. All of these things are going to have a big impact over the next 10 to 15 years in the sort of work that I do. It'd be very interesting to see how it all develops in the future. Thanks again for watching my video channel. I'm Jeremy Latham, I'm the hip surgeon. Please get in touch if you want any more information. If you like the channel, please subscribe. Thanks again for watching.